Hello, and today we were playing Journal. We're going to start day 4 for Niko. I love running, but I said try something else. Something with a little more interaction. Even though no other option sounds as good as this one, I forced myself to choose from the rest of the options. Okay, out of the remaining available activities, these were the ones that catch my eye. As soon as I got to the hall on the first floor, I saw Niko opening the gym door from the inside with Santos by his side. Niko was smiling while making passionate and exaggerated hand gestures. I wasn't able to hear what they were talking about, but I was able to hear Niko's laugh. It wasn't his usual cocky one, nor a sarcastic one. It was just a joyful laugh that was just pure. Seeing him smile in such a way made me want to smile. Realizing that they were leaving the gym for the entrance of the school, I started calling out for them. When they saw me, they slowed down their pace. "Oh, good to know you're still here." He turned to look at the bear. "Tell you weren't that late." You know how Viv is with punctuality. Niko shrugged. "Yeah, but also if we're all late, she can't punish us all." Santos shook his head with a smile on his lips. "Also, if we get there before anyone else, then we'd be saving ourselves from her wrath, considering she'd take it out with the people who arrive last." Niko's eyes darted from side to side in a robotic fashion. "We could just run there and leave Lucas behind. I doubt she'd take it hard on the new guy. Not only is that silly, but it's also kind of pointless. She's going to complain about something, so instead of trying to stop the inevitable, let's just get this over with." What a pain. Why are we not going to the gym? Was class canceled or something? Niko rolled his eyes playfully. "Weren't you listening?" "I mean, I was. I just have no idea what you're talking about." "As you know, Viv, our teacher, is kind of a busy person, even on a normal day. And just so you know, whenever she wants to train someone else, it means she's in a even steadier mood." "Where does she want us to train?" "Give her a break. She's probably just a bit stressed by the news." Niko smiled cockily. "Not even going to deny she'll be a pain in the ass? Why fight a losing battle?" Niko chuckled. "I'm completely lost." "God, ain't that a pretty face?" "What face? I'm not making any face." Niko rolled his eyes. "Do you even check your phone?" "Of course I did." Niko raised an eyebrow. "Huh?" "Well, I kinda turned it off to save battery. Forgot to charge it last night." "That explains it." Santos gave me a kind smile while Niko reached into his pocket where he pulled out his own phone. Then after fiddling with it for a bit, he showed me our group chat. "Training at the park near the front gate. Don't be late. I don't care if you didn't come to school today. If one of you fuckers skip, I'm making you regret it on Monday. Santos and I are on our way. Pick up the fucking pace. We have a tight schedule for the day." The phone vibrated on Niko's hand. "Anyone know if Lucas is coming?" Niko typed an answer. "He with us, but completely lost." Niko pulled his phone away. "Okay, now that I've thrown you under the bus, we have slightly more time before having to head there. God already know today's going to be a fun day." At first I couldn't tell if it was sarcasm or not, but Santos' side reassured me that today was going to be a hard day. we could just, not go. Yeah, right. You know how that goes. I thought I could use that info for future reference. Well, if more than half the team skips for the day, then it's customary to have a really intense workout next day to balance out the amount of work done. The warm-up alone is enough to tire me out. Of imagine how's the rest of the training. He's sorry for the millionth time, but I'm not sure if it's worth going there today, which is angry the workouts are equally as bad as if we skipped. And if we're the only ones that end up going to her angry training, then we're also going to have to do the hell workout next time, too. Santos shook his head in disapproval. Come on, big guy. Don't look so defeated. He scoffed. Dude, that woman doesn't know what a limit is. No, she really fucking doesn't. Either way, Santos grumbled. After that, Santos walked out of the front gate of the school with Niko and I walking close behind. With Santos being pissed and Niko enjoying his suffering, we soon fell into an awkward silence. I mean, it was probably not awkward for them, but I still felt anxious. I know it's dumb to want to look cool, something I totally am not, just to impress him. When I see Santos and Niko talking with their playful bickering and sassy remarks, it reminded me of what I had way back then. It's just how much I long for it again. Anyways, what were you two talking about before I got here? You looked pretty excited. Please, tell me it's her. Santos reached into his pocket, and as soon as he saw whatever was displaying in his phone, his mouth extended upwards in a content smile. I'll need it at home. Oh, really now? Check this out. He showed us his phone, which had a conversation on display. Yo, you need it at home, loser. Mom had overtime, and I'm out of town, and we need someone to look after you. He's at grandma's. Pick him up after you're done with school. My hands are tied, man. You think I can't read? The guy said to pick your brother up after you're done here. You have no excuse to skip training. Oh well, Viv doesn't exactly know that. You're not gonna tell her, right? Santos puffed out his chest and spoke slightly deeper than usual, trying to intimidate the cat. Oh boy, I'm so scared. Whatever will I do if this strong, big man decides to attack me? Whatever will I do? I saw Santos' throat quiver slightly, where he tried to keep a neutral expression on his face. It's really darn funny to see this hunk of a man scared of someone who barely reaches his shoulders. Then again, I can't really blame him. Well, I trust you'll tell Viv about my situation at home. He tilted his head and pointed at him with his index finger, the exact same way an adult does when punishing their child. Here, kinda like, you'll tell her what I want you to tell her 'cause I'm your father. Fine, Niko sighed, and immediately after Santos coughed, trying to hide a eating smile. Family first, God, your sister's sick after. Now go before I change my mind. See ya. Not even letting Niko finish, the bear fled the scene as fast as his legs let him. Niko pinched the bridge of his nose. Yeah, why would he join the team if he doesn't even enjoy it? Fucking lazy ass. Niko sighed. I guess it's just us again. He quickly recovered, flashing me a smile. Seems like it. I usually wouldn't mind if people stopped coming to training, but we have to prepare for the October tourney. And well, I'd rather avoid getting too embarrassed there. I didn't know we had to compete against other schools. I'm sure Val must have told you when you enrolled. Of course he didn't. He rolled his eyes. We had we have a minimum of 4 tourneys in the school year before nationals. Niko reached into his backpack, pulling out a granola bar as we continued walking towards the park. After he was halfway through the bar, he offered me the rest, which I declined. And well, since Val can't do her job properly, I guess I can't explain it to her. He stuffed the rest of the bar in his mouth, devouring it in a matter of seconds. I heard rumors about the first tourney, which usually occurs in October, being pushed forward thanks to all of that junk in the news. I'm also pretty sure the local science fair is in about a month or something like that too, so if they are really pushing events forward, our first tourney could be in less than a month. This gives me an even better reason to hate Santos for skipping. Fucking lazy ass. Well, based on what you told me about Coates, can you really blame him? Of course I can fucking blame him. He's gonna make our workout worse by dipping. I mean, Viv knows he's needed often at home, so he usually gets more passes than anybody else. She took a liking to him for some goddamn reason. I wanted to remind him that Santos is probably his closest friend in school, considering he sits alone in classes and I only ever see him hanging out with him. But I, of course, didn't say anything, letting him rant for a bit. Speaking of the devil of a woman we call a teacher, since she clearly couldn't do her job filling you in about our competitions, I guess I'll have to tell you. Like everything else she was supposed to. Niko huffed. We have a total of 4 tournaments before nationals. There is usually one in October, one in January, one in March, and one after spring break. Dodgeball tournaments are fairly straightforward. There are double elimination brackets at the first round, and the first round is determined completely at random. After the first turn is over and we have the official team rankings, the top half of the teams are forced to go on exhibition matches between one another until the next tourney alters the standings. These exhibition matches are mainly a help for the people that want to go pro and would like exposure. I think it's a total waste of time, but since we usually get set results, we never go in these. Niko tried to hide his annoyance with tiredness, but it was easy to see through his act. Well, he did start breathing heavier not too long ago, so he might not be acting. Tourneys happen on weekends. Your first 2 matches are on Friday. If you lose both your winners bracket and loser bracket games, then you're out. If you win at least one, you go into the next part of the bracket, which occurs on Saturday. Then, depending on the size of the tourney, you have to play either 2 more matches or a set time more just to get into the top 4, which occurs on Sunday. If you get to grand finals through the loser side of the bracket, you need to beat the team that got there through the winner's bracket twice in order to take the whole thing. That's called bracket reset. There are some exceptions within different tourneys, but I think that's the gist of it. Any questions? That sounds exhausting. Niko shrugged. I mean, we've only made it into Saturday, but even just being in the middle of the packed team can be pretty exhausting. Whenever we manage to not get eliminated on Friday, we go to this pizza place downtown. One of the few things that made the team try their hardest, who looked like shit from talking and running, smiled lightly and picked up the pace. There was one time that we had a contest to see who could eat more of this place. You'll never guess who actually ate more. Was it Santos? Nope, it was fucking Viv. She ate almost 2 whole pizzas by herself. I mean, she got pretty fucking sick the next day, but it was really cool. Niko sighed. Those are some of the only good memories I have from this fucking club. Niko chuckled dryly. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Did you understand how the tourneys work? I didn't, but I didn't, but I'm scared of what he'll say if I tell him I didn't get it. So I just nodded. How many teams are there usually in these tourneys? Well, for the October tourney and for Nationals, there's usually around 30 teams, give or take. The others are usually around 24 team mark. And you said you barely made it into the second day. How many teams do you need to beat? Niko squinted his eyes judgingly. Well, though I just told you, I guess it can get pretty confusing. For both tournaments, you have to win one match to go into the second day, and to get into the final day, you need to win around 3 more. Niko started counting with his fingers. Yeah, in the 32 teams tourney format, with one win in the winners bracket, you go into the top 24, I think. Still, we'll never make it that far, so just keep your pretty little head focused on the match we're actually going to play. I could have sworn that Niko's team was a top tier team, so the way he's talking is really surprising. He strikes me as a really competitive person. I saw it in the tryout day with the kid that faded. I mean, he could have stopped right as Santos threw in the towel, but he decided to keep going until he was the very last person standing. And well, knowing that he's a proud competitor is really out of character to see him talk like this. I followed Niko as he led the way to the park with a comfortable silence. Where I like to think is comfortable, Niko still lost in thoughts with a serious look on his face while I'm just enjoying the way the sun warms my skin. The walk to the park was fairly straightforward. I had never come here, but it was really pretty. There were some kids on the playground, but outside of that, the park was empty. After we arrived, we saw our coach sitting on a bench alone, looking pissed out of her mind. Oi, how? Where the hell is the rest of the team? Santos had a family emergency, like usual. Niko scoffed. What about the other two? How the fuck will I know? Language. There are children nearby. Niko rolled his eyes. They aren't toddlers. At the age of 8, you already hear your parents fight. Relax. That's besides the point. Niko smirked but dropped the subject. Well, I didn't see Bruce today, so I'm assuming he didn't come. And I don't know where Eric is. Where's Finn? Who's Finn? I'm pretty sure his family moved out of town after the news from yesterday. Speaking of which, are you going to explain why you dipped us without any warning yesterday? Got jury duty. She grumbled. Wait, did you actually? Was the fucking guilty? You are one of the weirdest persons I know to be making jokes like that. That wasn't even my worst one. The worst part is that I know that. She shook her head in disappointment. You forgot I've known you for 4 years, kid. I've heard some stuff from you that would get you a lot of enemies. Yeah, no need for the same speech. But what about your jury duty? Was he guilty or not? Close rolled her eyes. What answer will get you to shut up? Because I know if I say he was guilty, you'll ask what he did. And if I told you he was innocent, you want to know the allegations to debate he was guilty. I wouldn't declare him guilty if he didn't deserve it. I just want to know if the fucker fooled y'all or not. I told you not to swear here, you fucking rascal. Niko tissed with his signature cocky smile. My, that ain't a pretty mouth. Zip it. Once you tell me what the trial was for, then sure. Annoying motherfucker. It wasn't even a criminal trial, it was a civil trial. Oh. Niko sighed, frowning. Of course you lost interest now. She rubbed her temples. Back to the important stuff. Are you sure Finn dropped out? Pretty sure, yeah. Really? Fuck. That means we're down a player. She pondered for quite some time, her gaze looking more somber as minutes went by. Well, I don't think we're going to find a new player soon. Considering Lucas was a miracle, I doubt anyone else would want to join the team. I also think it would be hard to win even if we get this final member. What do you mean? I mean, look at the team. We have someone who has played gospel like 3 times in his life, and an annoying kid who doesn't stop bitching. She glared at Niko, who merely smiled in return. We have Santos, who's way too out of shape, and Bruce, who's kind of decent but skips training way too fucking often. God, this week can't get any worse. He exhaled loudly. Why don't you take the rest of the day off? It's only you two, and who knows if the team will dissolve after Finn dropped out. I only have like a couple of days to register the official team with the principal, who will definitely cancel the budget for the club if there aren't enough students in it. This would mean that the club will get terminated if we don't find another member for the team. Defeatedly, she stood up from the bench in the park, her eyes darting everywhere looking for something. When she didn't find anything, she started walking away. I was sure Niko was going to at least make an attempt to stop her, but he just stood still. As he ran. I was sure Niko was going to at least make an attempt to stop her, but he just stood still as he'd been in these last few minutes, not moving at all. Well, is he actually leaving? I stared at the back of our coats as he walked away. Niko still had a neutral expression, making it impossible for me to determine what his thoughts were. It's surprising to see such an expressive person have such a poker face, but I really shouldn't be surprised. He strikes me as the type of person to be able to mask his feelings well. Without knowing what to tell him, I stayed quiet. Should I console him, try to push him into another club or something? Or do I leave him be, giving him space to acknowledge the news? I decided to trust my gut, deciding that what we need right now was a bit of space to handle the news. After a big of silence, and staring at the beautiful landscape in front of us, Niko took a deep breath and started to recompose himself. As I made the right choice, then. After a couple of minutes, Niko groaned loudly before jumping out of his seat with a small smile on his face, but I could see that it was fake. It was unnerving how much this resembled his actual genuine smile. Or was he always faking it? I have no idea, but if he has, then I really got to take some notes. It's impressive, albeit sad, but still impressive. God, now that this shit is over, I'm gonna need to find another club. And the trial week is basically over, so I'll just have to choose a club randomly. Even then, the principal gets really stuck up with proper procedures. I'll have to go to their office about and why not join the literature club? You said you read a lot, right? Niko wondered aloud. Nah, I need something physical. If I don't move my body, then I won't be able to sleep at night. Well, any preferences? No, not really. Niko sat down again, merely an inch away from me. I get bored easily. Besides, dodgeball and other sports seem dull. I'll just wait for Monday. If there's not an actual announcement that the club is closing, then I'll still have hope. He shrugged. And well, if they do make a proper announcement, I'll just join whatever still has room. While he masked it well, I could still catch the disdain in his voice. I know you love dodgeball, but keep in mind that there are a lot of sports and other activities you could enjoy. You could even convince Santos to join you. Niko let out a mock giggle. As if the guy is so fucking lazy, I'm surprised he's even here. Anyways, not much point running circles in something I can't change, you know? We don't know what to say to make him feel better. Might as well just change the subject altogether. Yesterday you told me about a book you were reading. Are you a bibliophile? Niko saw me a questioning look, but smiled nevertheless. That's just a real word. But you could say that I am one. I mean, I love reading, but I'm really picky, so I don't know if I could be classified as a bibliophile. I don't like reading useless shit nor trying new books since I don't know if they'll be worth it in the end. Might as well read something that I know is good, even if I know what happens at the end. He looked up. The scenery in the sky was enough for him to feel relaxed. He sort of slumped as he let out a barely audible exhale. Then again, I really like stories and what they represent, so I forced myself to read a new book from an author I don't know just for the possibility of finding an amazing story. Niko stayed silent for a bit, still looking at the sky with dreaming eyes. I love going to other universes and watching these characters be alive, regardless of the genre of the book. He snorted. As Santos told you yesterday, I've gone through some phases here and there. Romance, mystery, thriller, historical fiction, horror, science fiction, fantasy, among some others. I found so many good stories in so many genres that I just wish to be there in their world. He failed to articulate, but he didn't seem annoyed. He looked awestruck. Life is dumb and simple. You have thousands of opportunities to be whatever you want, but don't you seem, but don't you feel sometimes like an outsider, like you want to be something no one's ever done before, but you have no idea what that is? All the time. I have so many uncertainties about my own future. I feel like whatever I will do after graduating will be the wrong choice. I also haven't exactly had the chance to really give my future some thought. Been a rough year. I looked at Niko, who had shifted his gaze from the sky to the floor. His ear was tilted in my direction, making me know he was listening to me. Family problems, economic problems, me problems. I'm getting sidetracked. I really do wish I could live inside a book where I'm not just in this world. Where there's a chance I could get murdered if I'm out alone at night. Niko put his hand on my knee. He didn't make a motion nor a sound, but for some reason it was enough to comfort me. It's so weird. I've met him for so little, yet I'm comfortable enough to have this type of conversation with him. But I'm glad to be talking about this. But there's a kind of way to look at a possibility of what your life could have been. You can be in a medieval setting where your biggest aspiration is getting the title of a lord. You can be in a futuristic setting where your goal is to destroy the robot army from destroying the world. Though I couldn't see him, I could hear his smile as he taught. You can be everywhere. You can learn from everything. Even then, you don't exactly learn those lessons in a proper way. You learn through the protagonist's eyes, not yours. You learn to hate, to like, to be scared, to be courageous, not as yourself, but as someone else. He let out a dry laugh, and even though he had a small smile painting his lips, there was a clear look of pain in his features. I put a hand on his shoulder, making him turn to look at me. Though he looked a bit surprised, he immediately tried to mirror the smile I showed him. When he kept quiet for a couple of minutes, I decided to start the conversation once more. You were about to finish another book, right? What was the name again? It was something about the lines of how to get away with murder, right? Yep. God, only I could read such a book. He bashfully looked away, a slight flush in his cheeks. Well, I could lie to you and say reading something like this is completely normal, but you know I'll be lying. But if it makes you feel any better, I think it suits you. Niko raised his gaze from the ground and smirked at me. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of on the weirder side of the spectrum. but I do take pride in that. Good. We said it. Look, both of us with small, awkward smiles, not knowing how to continue the conversation. After some time passed, while we were both enjoying the ambience, Niko realized he had been behaving like a normal person for too long and decided to punch my soda playfully. Yeah, look at me, acting like a 13-year-old, as if I can't have a normal conversation without getting embarrassed. God forbid you act normal. Heh. No one's boring, though. Which is why I'm assuming you act kinda like a nut job. You bet. I can't help but roll my eyes. Anyways, have you gotten closer to the end of the book? Nah, I haven't read since yesterday. I kinda want it to last longer. I just hope to not get disappointed with the ending. As I told you yesterday, only one way to find out, right? Still, I hate to just stop liking this book for its ending. It has some really cool ideas. For example, every time the protagonist kills someone, he wonders what animal they reincarnate in. He associates them with an animal based on personality. Wait, no, that's not entirely true. He associated a girl with a flower once. He thought she'd be a sunflower or something like that. Niko sighed with an undertone of confusion. Can't blame him. This book is so fucking weird. He laughed dryly. Do you believe in an afterlife, Lucas? Reincarnation? Casual topic of conversation. At least I'm not boring. Well, I'd love to believe there's an afterlife, but there isn't proof of it. I'm more on the side if you can't prove it, then it's most likely not real. Then again, I don't know. I guess that the thought of my dead relatives being reborn in a new body and bringing joy to the people near them again is something I'd love to believe in. It would mean that love transcends through time and space. But that's impossible. There will only be one of you, ever. So yeah, I don't believe in reincarnation, even though I want to. Niko kept a neutral expression as I explained my thoughts. A part of me was expecting him to laugh. A part of me was expecting him to debate my answer. But he kept quiet, deciding that silence was the best answer he could give. And so we just stayed on the bench of the park, basking in our surroundings. Some kids were playing on the swings, laughing as they kept getting higher and higher. Some birds were chirping, and outside of those two kids playing and their dad watching them, the park was empty. Been a while since I've seen this place be as empty as it is right now. I was just thinking about that actually. The park is really pretty. It's a surprise there's basically no one here. People must be taking that report really seriously. Oh yeah, what about your family? You told me yesterday that there was some drama with your sister and uncle, right? Niko kept his neutral expression on while he shrugged. I wonder if classes will be made online or something, considering people are taking so many drastic measures. Guess he doesn't want to talk about it then. I don't think it's going to come to that. They'll just wait for this whole issue to solve itself. Niko's gaze fell to the floor once more. Class probably getting canceled. This whole shebang in the news. My family. What a week. Niko shook his head violently like a maniac, raising up into the air with conviction and a newfound smile. Alright, get your ass up. We're jogging or something. Niko started trotting in place. Need to get my mind off of things I had fun running with you yesterday. But now it's your turn to keep the conversation going. I don't have that much energy to talk and run at the same time. So it's your job to entertain me, peasant. Of course it is. It will be my pleasure, my lord. I added mockingly. Niko shook his head with a small smile. Don't be cringe. I wasn't. If you call me a peasant, then that would mean you're my lord. Yes, I got the joke. It wasn't funny. Let's go already. Niko started to jog, going at an even pace. I'm funny. Alright, what do you want me to look? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk to you about? Surprise me. I don't know, I guess since he likes talking about books, I guess Lucas can talk about his own book. Well, you told me about the book you're reading, so I guess it's my turn. It's kind of cliche, but my favorite book is Perry Harter. I've always liked fantasy, and that was it's pretty freaking cool. Dude, Perry Harter is absolutely fucking trash. What do you mean? It's not trash. The book presents a really nice world with compelling characters. The pacing is nice. The mythical creatures are cool as hell. Also, the descriptions are so detailed that it's really easy to imagine that world as a reality. Niko, well, I think the book is a definition of mid. Perry's a set protagonist. The movies are also set. Also, the magic laws bend for the sake of plot. That one I can accept, though it's not exactly my cup of tea. I can respect your opinion. He grimaced as he said that last sentence. Respect doesn't really go with Niko's personality, but I can appreciate the attempt, I think. Well, besides Perry Harter, I like Lord of the Halo too. That one I can understand. He and I talked for a bit about the books we liked. He had a completely different taste in books compared to my less refined one, as he called it. Still, we were able to coincide in some book choices, and well, I had fun talking to him. We kept waiting for some time, reaching the very starting point again, meaning we completed one lap. Niko didn't look as exhausted as last time. Finally, God, this park is fucking huge. Niko exasperated as he sat on the bench dramatically. Screw over, drama queen. Niko rolled his eyes. You remember how you said you were going to entertain me? I've been wanting to ask about your family. I've overheard Amy say you were adopted the other day, and I've been curious ever since. I was also wondering if it was too much of a touchy subject to bring out or not, but hey, curiosity killed the cat, you know. This guy really doesn't know the definition of subtle. Also, how the hell did he hear Amy? He sits in the very front of the classroom. Either Amy sounded louder than we all thought, or Niko really has good hearing. Probably a mix of both. Well, what do you want to know? I don't know. This guy. Well, I live with my mom and siblings. Well, a total of 4. The twins just turned 8. And I guess that's kind of it. By any chance, did you move houses around 2 years ago? Yeah? What's with the awfully specific question? Nothing. Just that the first day you came, I thought I had seen you before somewhere, but I couldn't remember. I was going to drop it, but after you came to the club on Tuesday, I couldn't help but get more curious, so I looked you up online. 'Cause I know I had seen you somewhere before. You sound like a stalker. Me? Never, I don't care enough. You literally looked me up online. If that doesn't seem like caring enough, then I don't know what is. Niko blushed, embarrassed. Well, don't make a big deal of it. To answer your stalker question, yes, I moved homes about 2 years ago. Is that information enough, or do you also want my birth certificate? Heh. So, you moved around 2 years ago? Did you by any chance live by the coast? Nope, I live in Somerset County. We often went to the beach side on weekends though. My dad had a small cottage just 5 minutes from the beach. Have a lot of good memories there. Niko pondered for a bit, only to keep quiet for more than I had expected. If you're curious about something, you can just tell me instead of beating around the bush, you know? I'm an older brother to the 2 8-year-olds. I'm used to it. Niko smiled sheepishly. I'll tell you some other day, okay? Zero offers there. Okay? Niko took a big breath, looking into the sky momentarily. It's getting late. Thanks for the company today. I don't know what I have done if I was by myself. Niko hugged me. See you at the mall? Yeah. God's just a hug version. No need to blush. He rolled his eyes. Bye. Niko fled the scene while I was left to collect my thoughts. Yes, that was day 4 for Niko. So, I actually liked him more in this update. I mean, on this day here, day 4. He had different emotions. I mean, he said, he looked pretty sad that the club was probably going to be canceled since somebody left the team and Santos is constantly going on family emergencies, that he's not there all the time. So that made Niko sad. So I like that we got to see different emotions of him, other than the cocky and snarky personality that he has, And there's probably some things going on with his family that he doesn't like. And the whole disappearances seem to really be affecting him. Because he said he's not a purebred feline, so I don't know. It's a mixture of feline species. Or maybe he's got some non-feline in him, but if he's a purebred, if you got different species of feline in you, you're still a full feline. I don't know. But anyway, he's just as much in danger of being kidnapped as Lucas is. I like Santos. I like his personality. He's a nice person. Plus, I do like bears. I like bears a lot. If you had to say what my favorite species is, it would be a bear. A lot of people, they love wolves, but I actually like bears the most. To me, I think bears are my favorite. Then I guess it's a tie between wolves and tigers. And then I guess after that are lions. But anyway, bears are my favorite. So, we covered everything for Journal. All 3 characters. And all 4 days. Second day is where you make your choices for the characters, so each character didn't have a day 1. Their route started off in day 2, so 1 video for day 1, then I have video on days 2 for all, like day 2, 3, and 4 for all characters. So, So, out of the 3 characters, Derek seems to interest me the most. He's just unpleasant guy. He's smart. He seems to be really smart about the subjects, but he's just got an attitude. But that gives me the most interest because I'm wondering how he and Lucas are going to get along. Because unlike the other two characters, he got really physical with Lucas. It was about to beat him up. So I think his route is the most interesting because Derek and Niko, I mean, both of them, I mean, you go about your days with them pleasant. Well, Derek's the most pleasant one of the three characters, and Niko's a little irritable. He kind of irritates me, but he's a good person, and he's very knowledgeable about dodgeball and all the different tournaments and the qualifications for the championships. He was real disappointed when the club was at risk of being canceled. And Derek, he's a nice guy. He's a nice person. He's very confident about himself. He believes he knows he can be a good basketball player. So all these disappearances that have been happening could be some kind of a conspiracy with the government to decrease the numbers of non-felines, so their group, the felines, can be dominant in the country. Because Amy herself said that 99% of the politicians in the country are felines, so I mean they're already dominant enough, but even when it's dominant, when they know it's dominant, it seems like that's never enough. Kind of like rich people, they know they got plenty of money, more money they can ever spend to have, but they just keep wanting more. So it could be that. Then again, it could be something else. Maybe this person has a prejudice towards non-felines, and this person who's doing the disappearances, or group, or felines themselves. So we'll just have to see what happens when the new updates come out. And the game is currently on hiatus. It's January, and there hasn't been an update since, I think, August. So hopefully the hiatus won't last too long. Like later this year, hopefully there'll be an update. So I enjoyed Journal, and like I said again, I'm looking forward to this whole disappearance thing, as well as the party that one of Derek's teammates invited Lucas to, some party. I have a feeling that if Lucas ends up disappearing, sorry, I mean there's some loud cars out on the highway out here, so that's what distracted me. But anyway, so if Lucas decides to go to this party, he might be kidnapped, or some of the other characters might end up getting kidnapped while at this party. It might either be on the way to the party, it might be at the party itself, or perhaps it might happen after a party when people leave, like on their way back from the party. So anyway, so thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.